Today for New Music Monday, we're going to check out the brand new release from Kanye West, and it's called Yeezus. This is the first full album of new studio material from Kanye in about 3 years. And like Kanye loves to do, this is definitely going to have people talking about him because this is about as far from what you'd expect. But honestly, the idea of the unexpected goes along so well with the rather adversarial approach that Kanye's been taking with the promotion of this record, as he made it clear that there really wasn't anything radio friendly on this album. And after you listen to the record, there's no doubt that that is completely true. In a lot of ways though, you can see this as the most personal album he's ever made, as he made the songs exactly how he wanted in terms of sound and mood, not caring if they were going to sell or what other people thought of them. This is definitely not a pop-centric record. It's very dark, very aggressive, and there's a harder approach on a number of these songs than we've ever heard from Kanye. And honestly, you just can't get past the heavy industrial overtones that run throughout the entire album. While this sort of musical diversion has previously resulted in generally subpar musical chaos, and the songs coming off as rather confused, here it does manage to work for the most part. Whether it's tracks that are destined for the dance clubs like the opening song here, or the almost Gary Glitter-esque Black Skinhead single, or the intimidating, almost looming sounds that you find on songs like I'm In It, the musical backing all across this record are wonderfully confrontational. At the same time, they manage to never become stale or cliche in any way, as soon as you find your brain starting to wander from these sounds, they manage to take a very sharp turn in some random direction. And you can even see this album as a bit of an art record in a lot of ways due to the musical arrangements. When it comes to the music, if you're looking for those sounds and those beats that you're used to getting from Kanye, the closest you're gonna get comes at the end of the record, and it presents an unwelcome juxtaposition to the rest of the album. But you can see this as perhaps a bit purposeful on Kanye's part, as he doesn't want to completely alienate his core audience, but it certainly gives a very swift and stark contrast to the rest of the record. On the other side of things, the lyrics that you're gonna find on this album are about as boring and bland as I've ever heard, as it's mostly cliche, lewd sexual commentary, or lyrical phrasings that just end up sounding incomplete. For someone with the writing talents that Kanye has displayed over the years, the lack of quality verses may be the most surprising and overall disappointing aspect of this entire album. It's not that I was looking for pop hooks, because believe me, I was more than happy with their absence. But Kanye West can turn a phrase better than just about anybody in the hip-hop world. And while there are moments of lyrical greatness here and there, they are so few and far between, it's almost embarrassing. At times it comes off like he's trying to be too tough, trying to destroy that high-fashion, clean boy image that he's created over the past few years, and maybe try and make himself come off more as hardcore or from the street with the way he uses his words. But the lyrics end up reeking of desperation and just trying too hard. Because in reality, he's obviously trying to be something he's not, and that aspect comes across way too clearly. Also, there's a bit too much use of auto-tune on the vocals here, but unfortunately within the current world of hip-hop, that's almost an expected reality. The difference here is though, when you're using such stark, stripped-down musical arrangements in the background, the overuse of auto-tune becomes very, very obvious. And it just doesn't fit with the overall mood that these songs have. The fact is though, this album might be more appropriate for hardcore dance clubs and industrial gatherings than it will for hip-hop heads. And I have to say, it's refreshing to see such a big-time artist make such a non-radio friendly album. And it really makes that phrase artistic integrity difficult to avoid. If Kanye West's goal with this album was to get people talking about him again, he certainly succeeded, as music fans are going to spend the entire summer debating the different merits and musical approaches of this album, as this is definitely a daring and unexpected album from anyone in hip-hop, regardless of the quality you find within the music. Any way you slice it, the new album from Kanye West is definitely a unique musical experience. And on the buy it or borrow it, I'm going to give this one a required borrow it, as the way that the musical backgrounds work within a hip-hop setting are definitely something everybody should experience. But it's not worthy of a buy it because the lyrics on this album are an overall letdown compared to what we'd expect from Kanye West. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click subscribe, leave a comment, click like, whatever you want to do. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook right here, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.